What's up, Taiwan? I'm Liao with 10 minutes of news from Taiwan and around the world. A few weeks ago, reports surfaced that President Tsai would take a trip to visit allies in Central America with stops in the U.S. On Tuesday, the presidential office revealed details about her trip. I was at the press conference to find out more. President Tsai is headed to Guatemala and Belize, two of Taiwan's diplomatic allies in Central America. It'll be the first overseas trip she's taken since the COVID-19 pandemic. The president is scheduled to leave on March 29th and will return on April 7th. She will head to Guatemala first and then on to Belize on April 3rd.
在去年9月，瓜地马拉的贾迈代总统特别邀请蔡总统能够访问瓜地马拉。此外，贝里斯总理布里先纽伉俐曾于去年3月访台。因此，为了回应友邦多次诚挚的邀请及展现对友邦的重视，那我们也要持续深化民主盟友间的合作发展。
Joining Tsai on the trip are high-ranking officials like Foreign Minister Joseph Wu, Secretary General to the President Ling Jialong, and Deputy Economics Minister Chen Zengqi. They'll discuss welfare programs, infrastructure, and trade with their Guatemalan and Belizean counterparts. Tsai's trip comes at a crucial time. Last week, another Central American ally, Honduras, announced that it would cut ties with Taiwan in favor of China. The trip will entail 2 stopovers in the United States, one in New York and one in Los Angeles. And it's been reported that while in California, President Tsai will meet with U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Last week, the White House said that Tsai's transits through the U.S. are just that, transits, and they do not constitute official visits. Such stopovers in the U.S. are a sensitive topic because Taiwan and the United States share only unofficial ties. China claims Taiwan as part of its territory and strongly protests any reference to its independent sovereignty. With Taiwan-Honduran ties hanging by a thread, Tsai's trip to Central America will hope to stabilize friendships in the region. President Tsai has given one of Taiwan's top honors to a former White House security advisor. Tsai presented the Order of Brilliant Star to Robert O'Brien, who served under the Trump administration. The order is a civilian honor given to people who have contributed greatly to the development of the nation. Tsai cited O'Brien's help in building up friendship between Taiwan and the U.S. In his remarks, O'Brien said the U.S. stands with Taiwan and will help the country defend itself from Chinese aggression.
But our adversaries must know that we will never exchange our freedom, our principles, our values, and sacrifice them in exchange for peace. Instead, we will secure peace through our strength.
Taiwan's Premier has weighed in on former President Ma Ying-jeou's plans to visit China. Chen Jianren says he hopes Ma will maintain Taiwan's dignity while he's there.
我想马总统也应该听见了台湾人民的声音我们希望他此行能够维护我们国家的尊严和主权，这样子才不会让我们台湾人民失望。
Ma, who's a senior figure in the opposition Kuomintang, will leave for China on March 27th for a 12-day visit. It'll be the first time a former or current leader of Taiwan has visited since 1949. Ma's foundation says he plans to visit his ancestors' graves for the upcoming Tomb Sweeping Festival. He'll also lead a delegation of Taiwanese students to discuss academic exchanges with China. For more on former President Ma Ying-jeou's historic and controversial trip to China, Sam Hui spoke to Ross Feingold, a political analyst based in Taipei.
Do you think President Ma's visit to China will help to cool down the tension between Taiwan and China?
Relations between Taiwan and China depend on the policies of the current governments on both sides. And the government here in Taipei is not taking its policy advice on China relations from former President Ma. In fact, they have quite a very different vision for what relations should be and specifically what the basis of relations should be.
What impact will it bring to the ruling Democratic Progressive Party?
For the DPP, the visit gives a lot of items that they could criticize President Ma and also criticize the Chinese Nationalist Party, the Kuomintang, over as well, because although former President Ma is not representing the party. The party did issue a statement basically saying that they think it's a good idea for dialogue. So they certainly don't oppose President Ma's visit to China. So the DPP, they could criticize both Ma and they could criticize the Chinese Nationalist Party as well.
What impact will it bring to the opposition, Kuomintang?
The labeling of the Chinese Nationalist Party as being soft on China is something that they struggle to remove this label. And President Ma visiting China doesn't help the Kuomintang remove that label, but unfortunately for them, they're kind of stuck because they can't oppose his trip or really criticize it. But then on the other side, they have to try and explain to the voters why this is a good idea. And oh, by the way, they have to explain why we're not soft on China either. So it's definitely a struggle for them.
That was Ross Feingold, a political analyst living in Taiwan, speaking with Sam Hui. Germany's education minister has arrived in Taiwan. Bettina Stark-Watzinger is leading a delegation to Taiwan focused on technology and education exchanges. She is the first German minister to visit the country in 26 years. Over the past year, officials and parliamentarians from Germany and Taiwan have interacted more frequently. That's despite protests from Beijing. On Tuesday, Stark-Watzinger signed a cooperation agreement with Taiwan's Science and Technology Council. She said it's important to increase exchanges with like-minded partners. Taiwan's Navy and Air Force are running joint drills this week. Among the tools the military has to keep the country safe is versatile equipment like these mobile bridge tanks. These vehicles are used to help get heavy military assets across gaps in the battlefield, like rivers. They can bear up to 60 metric tons and can fit together to span up to 45 meters. In peacetime, they can also help out during disasters. Taiwan's electricity prices are set to rise in April, with industrial users facing the steepest hikes. That's as fuel prices rise and Taiwan's state-run power company faces steep losses. But despite the hike, Taiwan's prices will remain low compared to global standards. John Van Trieste reports.
Stubborn energy prices and mounting losses, including more than $8 billion last year alone. That's what Taiwan's state-run power company Taipower is up against as the warmer months approach. It's a time of year when people turn on their air conditioning and power usage peaks. And that's why, come April, power bills are set to increase. The government says households that use less than 700 kilowatt hours a month won't see their bills go up, while households that do will see a 3% hike.
兼顾台电的这个稳健的经营嘛，千万不能倒，那也照顾了民生跟相关的物价的平稳。
But it's a very different story for industrial users. Prices are expected to jump 11% on average. Taiwanese Commerce Association CNAIC says this, combined with last year's 15% hike in big users' power bills, is becoming a worrying trend. Industry groups want the government to slow down energy bill hikes for the sake of Taiwan's competitiveness. Still, even after the hike, Taiwan's average price per kilowatt hour is only expected to hit around 10 US cents. This is still on the lower end of the global scale, with countries like Germany topping out at around 50 US cents. Taipower hopes the hike will cause big users to change their patterns of energy consumption.
台电公司是希望就是说借由这个鼓励这个方式，然后一方面也能够节约用电，一方面也能够照顾我们这些租屋主，减轻他们的负担。
The company also says these relatively low prices mean Taiwan's industrial sector will keep its global edge. Klein Wong and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
A 74,000-ton container ship has crashed into a pier in southern Taiwan. The driver of the Cyprus-flagged Hyundai Tokyo was reportedly under the influence of alcohol at the time of the accident. No one was hurt, though the dock at Kaohsiung port has been damaged. The accident left several bystanders puzzled.
我会觉得说，那是不是饮水了？是有发生什么样的状况？
就是如果你按照标准作业流程走的话，是不可能发生这种事情。
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. I'm Liao. Take care and see you next time.